Welcome back to What's Up, Doc, a podcast by Miramont Wellness Centers in Fort Collins, Colorado, hosted by Dr. John L. Bender, MD, and CEO of Miramont Wellness Centers. Our mission is to empower your community and yourself to achieve healthcare and wellness aspirations anywhere in life.
Hello, I'm Dr. John Bender. Welcome to another exciting episode of What's Up, Doc. I'm your host, and with me,
Janessa Visconti.
Janessa, I have a question for you today. We oftentimes are asked, do I have to exercise while taking compounded semaglutide? And the answer is, you need to exercise even if you're not taking compounded semaglutide. One of the things that's changed in America over the years is we are largely sedentary. Most of the tasks we have are not manual. The number of people in my community that dig ditches has dropped off dramatically and have been replaced with people sitting in chairs. Well, sitting is the new smoking. This is what's causing people to develop long-term chronic disease. Semaglutide can help with that, but nothing's going to work as well to keep you healthy as just adding in some exercise. So let's chat about that a little bit. Now, when it comes to exercise, I'm mostly wanting to focus today on aerobic conditioning, good cardiovascular health. Well, what is aerobic conditioning? Aerobic conditioning is when you get your heart rate up and you sustain it for a period of time. So for example, when your heart's beating, there's two chambers above and below. And Janessa, it takes time to practice this. Could I see if you can do this? One above and one below. Okay, not bad. Oh, you're good. Okay. So when you are out of shape, your heart can do one of two things. It can either beat faster or it can beat stronger. Okay? When you're out of shape, all it can do is beat faster. So for example, you go to run up a couple flights of stairs, and at the top, what happens? You're out of breath. You're going, and your heart's doing this, okay? Now let's say though that you are really well aerobically conditioned. You've been doing great cardiovascular workouts. Now you run up those couple flights of stairs. All your heart does is a couple extra hard beats. You get to the top, you're not out of breath. So how much aerobic exercise do you need to do? Well, they've done studies on this. So it turns out if you exercise aerobically 3 times a week, you will live longer than those who don't. Did you know that, Janessa?
I do not. That's interesting.
If you exercise 7 times a week, you don't live any longer than those who exercise 3 times a week. So you might be faster, more conditioned, but it's not going to add to your lifespan. Will add to your health span. But I would just submit that at a minimum 3 times a week. So pick like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, whatever floats your boat. But commit to doing some aerobic exercise. Now, do we have to do it for hours and hours? Again, the answer turns out no. What I usually tell people, if you're out of shape, start with like 10 minutes because it's going to be hard. And then work up to maybe about 20 minutes, 3 times a week. And that is going to be more than enough to give you cardiovascular health and to help you to maintain your weight. And if you are utilizing compounded semaglutide, it's going to help you with that calorie burn so that you can get your weight goal faster. Did you know, Janessa, that we oftentimes write exercise prescriptions as physicians?
I didn't know that.
So what are the parts of an exercise prescription? Well, first we want to select a target heart rate. That's going to be based on your age and your sex. And you can Google it, just put in target heart rate calculator and put in the information. Good rule of thumb is you take 220 minus their age, multiply it by 0.85%, and that will give you a rough estimate. For many people, it's going to be between about 120 and 160, depending on your age. Let's just say that your target heart rate is 140. You can buy different gadgets to wear around your wrist that will check your pulse. You can also oftentimes check it on the machine itself. There'll be handles that will have a little metal bar you touch, and it will give you your heart rate. Or you can check it yourself. You can count for a minute on your carotid or on your pulse, or you can count for 30 seconds and multiply by 2, or you can count for 6 seconds and multiply by 10. So if your heart rate is 140 and you count for 6 seconds and you get to 14, then you're at your rate. Now let's say you check your pulse and it's only 100 and your target heart rate is 140. Well, you may be burning calories, you may be sweating, but you're not actually in that cardiovascular zone. You need to pick up the pace so that you can get to your goal. Now, if you check your pulse and it's 180, slow down. First of all, you're going to overextend yourself. You'll feel so washed out, it will take you days to recover. You won't be able to maintain a 3-time-a-week regimen because it takes you 4 days to recover from that. You'll have to go get one of those fancy new IV hydration bars, right? Because you'll be too dehydrated. So pick a target heart rate, work up to it, start at 10 minutes if you're out of shape, get up to at least 20 minutes minimum 3 times a week. If you want to do more than that, great, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but just know that that's the minimum. And if you combine that with your compounded semaglutide program, you will burn calories at an accelerated rate. One last thing I should point out, if you look online, it will tell you, okay, sitting, you're burning 70 calories an hour. Running, you're burning, let's say 300 calories. And you look at that and you go, well, that's only like an extra 200 calories. That's like a candy bar. I mean, is it really helping me that much? What people forget is that you don't just burn the calories when you're exercising. After a good workout, your body's actually warmer. You continue to burn calories at an accelerated rate for several hours afterwards, like up to 8 hours. Also, there's a compensatory drop in your blood pressure. So when you work out, your blood pressure goes really high. I mean, it can be 180 over 100, which would normally be considered hypertension. But if you're exercising, that's okay. But then there's a compensatory drop in your blood pressure for many hours later. And that's why over time, regular exercise actually lowers your blood pressure, also lowers your heart rate. Why? It doesn't have to beat as fast. Remember, as we spoke about in the beginning, it's a stronger heart rate now, so it can actually beat at a slower rate. And one of the ways you can tell that you're well conditioned is that at rest, your pulse is going to run maybe in the 50s or 60s, not always in the 80s or 90s. Well, that's all the time we have. At What's Up Doc, I'd like to thank you for joining in. I'm Dr. John Bender.
And I'm Janessa Visconti.
Are you sure, Janessa?
Sure.
All right. Have a blessed weekend. Oh, also, forgot to mention, we just shot our 10th episode, so congratulations to us. Wow.
So much to our viewers and support with them. We really, really appreciate it. We've had a lot of fun making these and love educating our patients. So we wanted to thank you.
Thank you to our viewers. We really appreciate you tuning in.